Here I'm going to show how to refill a epoxy tube with the Gflex Thick. The problem with the thick is the hardener side is very thick, and if you just try to pour it down into the tube, it traps air bubbles in there. So the best thing I found is to push it up through the hole. So I'm actually recycling a old cartridge by I took the air hose and I just put this down to the ground and pushed air into it and let it push the pistons back out, so I don't have to throw these away each time. And so one I've already used Gflex Thick on. So I can see there's this side which is yellow in it, and I'm using this little adapter we made, which is a cap, which we glued and potted a basically a static mixer connector to, and it's only open on one side, so it's only going to inject into the side that's already yellow, the hardener side. One thing we've done is I left the hardener inside the oven for a while to make it nice and warm. And the warmer it is, the more it's going to easily it's going to flow. Take off the cap on the hardener. And this is one that I'd done previously, but it's broken now, so we redid a better cap. And what we did is we potted the inside better too, and use a square piece in there so it won't rotate. So what I did just there, I don't want to rotate that. I want to keep this arrow aligned with the hole there, so they match up like that. Now once it's in, I can lock it in place, and now you can start to see I'll start to fill, and it's going to start coming in through the bottom there. And at some point it becomes a lot easier if I put this inside a press, if I use a press to squish this tube or a clamp. I can use a bar clamp like this or a vise to add pressure, extra pressure, more than I can apply myself by hand. Squeeze the resin in there. Roll it up some more. And then we're almost done with this tube, so I'll have to move to another tube soon. This tube is about done, and I'll probably just at the end, I'll probably compress the whole thing a little bit. Squish it all down to get the very last bit that I can out. It's actually filled up quite a bit. Might get a full tube out of this. Okay, if I needed to fill up some more, I would just grab a new tube that's been in the oven and screw it on there and just fill it up more like that. The other side, I'll show you the other side of the resin is a lot easier to fill up. You can just pour it in from the top. You don't have to use a specialized tool like that. Although I might make another one of these just for the other side now that we figured out how to make a good one for here, because you still have to let air settle out from the other one that you poured in. Now this is the resin side. It's clear, and so this one, put in the oven, it flows well enough that you can see it's liquid. It's liquid enough. Well, it's still pretty thick, but liquid enough that it'll settle down in there, and you can just let it. I can put the whole tube back in the oven and kind of let it settle and get the air bubbles out. It's not nearly as viscous as the other side. I'm gonna remove this since I don't need it anymore and put a cap on the end. Cap that. Tapping it gently is one way to get it down to the bottom. Yeah, there we go. It came off the walls. Still, this one's still a little bit thicker than normal sometimes. Okay, well, it looks like it's full now, and I still see few air bubbles in there. If you look at it from behind the light, you can still see some air bubbles in there. I'm gonna set it inside the oven in the rack where it's suspended in the rack like this. Just let it settle itself out, so let the air bubbles settle, go up before putting the caps on. So I think I'm gonna make the same thing for the other side, for the resin side, to squirt it up from the bottom to really eliminate those air bubbles from being introduced. This is how I hang the epoxy cartridge inside of the oven. Just put it through the rack like that and let it heat up and sit like that for a while to get the air bubbles out. Here are 2 tubes of Gflex Thick heating in the oven, warming up, and I'm warming them up at just my kind of standard temperature of 65 degrees C.